Hey guys, this is Dustin with American Outback Overland, and I've been getting a ton of questions about my electrical and what it is I have that I'm putting in and how I'm routing wires and whatnot, and I'm not very good at how-tos, and so this isn't going to be a how-to video, but more of a guide to wire routing, and I'd like to share a little bit about what I have going on and the items that I'm using with my build. I will go ahead and provide some small reviews over a few of the items that I used, but mainly this is just going to be an inspirational guide to wire routing and placement of items within the rig. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright everyone, what we have here is the rear left panel that normally houses the jack in this region right here. What I decided to do was remove the rear jack and in place of it put an 800 watt Cobra inverter. Everything's going to be hardwired in. One thing you'll notice here, I have a 12 volt solar controller wired up. Not 100%, this is all still a work in progress. As you can see, there's wires hanging. I will go ahead and go over it when it's 100% completed. But I do have my battery sources wired in, and this is going to control the 100 watt solar panel that I'm installing within the roof rack, or underneath the roof rack I should say. And those wires will be routed up through the panel, up underneath the panel to some unused holes underneath the roof rack. I can go ahead and show that on another video when I install the solar, but right now I just wanted to kind of focus on what I have going on. I routed some higher gauge wires here for the LED charger. I replaced the 12 volt outlet, which is limited to 120 watts, with this 18 gauge wire. A lot of these new devices such as iPads, iPhones, the larger Android tablets take a higher current rating on the charge, and I didn't want to overdo this small 22 gauge wire that's in the factory. This right here is the 12 volt socket that I removed. You can see it says it has 120 watt max, so definitely not designed to handle any large current items such as a refrigerator or even an inverter at that. I wouldn't feel comfortable running it for long periods of time. So I went ahead and updated the panel a little bit. I installed this 12 volt USB, provides plenty of charging power for any kind of tablet or iPhones, or even your digital cameras that you might have on the trail. I feel like these 12 volt outlets are a bit outdated. Really not much uses these outlets anymore. The LED that I was concerned about is this LED right here. You can see and it does light up when it is powered, but that's going to be minimal draw, and the house battery with the solar should be able to easily keep up with that. Distribution block, and what I wanted to do was reduce the amount of wires that I have running from the front of the vehicle to the back. So instead of running multiple pairs of power and ground wires up to the battery, I went ahead and decided to run a single 2 gauge wire that ends up getting routed back behind the stock subwoofer and down through the footwell, and eventually runs to the dual battery, the house battery up front. So this just made my life a lot easier. I didn't have to run multiple wires. I chose a large enough gauge that could handle any current draws that I would feel necessary for a fridge and solar. Also, you'll see here I did install a Blue Sea 120 amp ground block. I wanted to isolate all of the grounds within the circuit to one location. I didn't want to tap holes in my body every time I wanted to lay a ground, and I wanted to ensure that this guy would hold up to the current draws necessary. I do have an 8 gauge wire going to the factory ground here. You'll see some power wires. This is for low current draw items. I have my USB charger that's going to be ran off that, and that should be full time. Moving to the back, I do have some lighting issues. We do have a factory dome located back here. I did install a high-powered LED panel, as you can see dangling right there. That panel provides great light for the storage area, but not good enough light to work under. And I do have a pull-out stove cook surface that I'm going to be working with, so I decided to go ahead and route some wires up through the headliner, and I came through. There's a hole back up here behind the headliner that allows the factory wires to route through this channel. So I went ahead and jumped in here, took the power wires up to here, and once again I pulled this panel, and I'm going to be running this power all along here, eventually mounting a light up here. You can kind of see it a little bit better right up in here, and this is the light right here that I'm going to be using. So this is a flush mount Caldwell light, pulls about 13 watts. Factory wiring can definitely hold it. It seems like pretty good quality. It does have an aluminum housing, which was surprising for the price point. I think I paid 18 bucks for it online. This will be wired into the factory door activated dome light up here. You can see I have some wires that I'm going to be tapping in, and those are routed up through the headliner. Thanks guys for joining me. Please subscribe if you're interested in following more of this build. Thanks guys.